Hello, I'm Kyle, and welcome to The Long Rest, a channel where I hope to bring you guys little tips and tricks videos in my ridiculously terrible, but hopefully funny style of drawing in MS Paint. I'll graduate to a better program eventually, but for now, this is fun, and it works just fine for me. Anyway, moving on. The first thing as a Dungeon Master you're going to want to do is build a core understanding of the rules. Whether it be Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, or some other form of tabletop RPG, having a good understanding of the game's mechanics is your bread and butter, and will leave you more prepared for when a player wants to do something really complicated that might require a series of ability checks, followed by maybe an attack roll of some sort. The less time you spend looking shit up, the more time you can spend immersed in the game and having fun. Which brings us to our next topic, Session 0. This is something I really wish I had done during my first campaigns. Essentially, you want to gather up all your friends and have a discussion about the types of things everyone can expect from the session. It's important to know that each player is different. There may be a player who heavily enjoys the role-playing more. There may be a player who just can't wait for that next encounter. Or maybe there's even a player who has a strange requirement that there be more cookies at every session. I don't know. Anyway, Session 0 will also give you guys a good opportunity to create your characters while everyone is present. This could lead into interesting characters that have backstories that tie into one another, making it easier to roleplay during the session. This could also help you avoid the type of characters who tend to fall into the category of murder hobo. Some people just can't stand playing with these types of people, so it's important to address these concerns. While you're all together, you can also talk about group composition, creating a party that feels balanced and functional, because I know we've all been in those situations where everyone is a fighter and nobody wants to buckle down and be the healer. If you play the right healer, that shit is fun. Seriously, try it out sometime. Preventing a party from TPKing can be just as fulfilling as getting that final hit on the boss. Next important thing. Always be prepared. I can't stress how annoying it can be to have these big lulls in a session due to a dungeon master or even a player not having their shit ready. Times like this, I'm wondering why I haven't made a bard who holds up SpongeBob-style cue cards when there's too much downtime, 2 hours later. Anyway, being prepared means you've read through the parts of the module you're running that the players are likely to go through, and then some. The more you read of a module you're playing or have written, or in the case that you're running a custom campaign, the more you've written, the easier it is to run a game and keep things going. One thing that really helps is having your encounter sheets prepared ahead of time. So when an encounter arrives, the time it takes to set up things is very minimal and you can jump right into combat. So essentially, prepare all the things. It's that simple. Next will probably be improv. There's going to be times when your players go a bit off the rails, and you're going to want to give them a light nudge in the right direction. You can do this by creating interesting NPCs that perhaps give the players a side quest that ultimately ties into the main storyline. Being able to make up these situations on the fly are important for a dungeon master. Maybe your party has killed one of your main NPCs way sooner than you had originally planned, ruining all your hopes and dreams. Perhaps now, with this villain out of the way, this paves the path for an even greater evil to arise, and inadvertently it's the party's fault. But be careful. You don't want to end up like me in my first custom campaign, where I essentially created an evil Cabbage Man wizard. Yeah, more on that short story later. The next important thing would probably be insight. This means being able to tell, how your players are feeling outside of the game, whether there be a certain event that they really enjoyed, or maybe one that just downright pissed them off. It's good to be able to recognize when a player has an issue. That way, after the game, you're able to talk to them about it and hopefully come up with a solution so that you can enjoy the session to the fullest next time. This also kind of ties into communication. If you're a player, you're going to always want to bring issues to mind and, voice it completely. So that way, you make the changes needed. If it's never voiced, then it can never get fixed. Next is what I feel is the most important thing for a dungeon master. That's to have passion. There is a big difference between a dungeon master that truly loves the game and cares about his player's experience and one who doesn't. If there's anything you take from this video, it's that a player can always tell if you're not having a good time, and this feeling easily spreads to the rest of the session. If you find that being a dungeon master isn't quite your thing, be able to talk to the group, step down, and perhaps pass the torch on to someone who might enjoy it more. It's a lot better of an option than continuing to do something you don't enjoy and delivering a subpar experience. You've all gathered as friends to immerse yourself in this world where you can do just about anything. So do everything you can to make it a fun one. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. Leave a closed fist with a thumb pointing up if you liked the video. I suggest you subscribe if you want more of my weird style of D&D related videos. DC 15 wisdom save, of course. And comment if you want to talk or share your opinions. I'll try to answer as many of them as I'm able. So that concludes this long rest, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.